What is going on, everybody? How are you? My name is Heather, and for those of you who don't know me, I am the owner and founder of Being One and the Be Fierce movement. I am all about empowering women, helping them find that confidence, that strength inside of them, and coming out being the most fierce version of themselves. All right. So, I wanted to chat today about this whole Super Bowl debate, okay? I've waited a week to say anything because I wanted to see what people were going to be saying over the past week because it did draw up so much attention, even the night of the Super Bowl. And I just felt that I really needed to put my opinion out there because there are so many crazy things being said, and it's just blows my mind. So I decided to wear my Be Fierce shirt for this because those ladies rocked that effing stage. They rocked it. They were totally effing fierce. I absolutely loved the show. I thought it was an incredible display of the power that women have. For anybody who's ever been involved in dancing or performing, you can attest to the fact how difficult that was. A level of performance like that is tough. It takes extreme strength, endurance, and talent to pull off something like that. And I can only imagine how many hours of rehearsal, how much blood, sweat, and tears those two women put into that performance. And they should be damn proud of themselves for the end result because it was truly incredible. The amount of negativity and disrespect that is surfacing though because of how these women portrayed their bodies during this performance is absolutely crazy. For any of you that saw my video a couple weeks ago regarding catcalling and demeaning comments by men, you know that I have zero tolerance for the objectification of women. If you haven't seen that video, head over to my Instagram. It's being_ONE and then the number one. So being_ONE, the number one. Check out that video. But the point is, a woman can be sexy. She can be confident and she can shake her ass without immediately becoming a sexual object, period. And for anyone who thinks the opposite, who thinks that the moment that a woman shakes her ass or the moment that a woman puts on something sexy, she becomes a sexual object, you are the problem, my friend. That kind of thinking is exactly what has gotten us to where we are now. That kind of thinking is what leads women to believe that they're not allowed to feel sexy without also being called a slut. That kind of thinking is what leads men to believing that she wanted to be raped because of what she was wearing. That kind of thinking leads to sexual shaming and sexual abuse. All right. If you feel that that halftime show performance was overly sexy and made you uncomfortable, then maybe you need to take a step back and reevaluate if you're comfortable with your own sexuality, if you're comfortable with your own body. Right now, to be clear, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with those who aren't comfortable with their sexuality or comfortable with their body. I've struggled with that for years. I know many people struggle with that. I am certain that there were hundreds of thousands of women that found it difficult to watch that performance and not say to themselves, wow, why don't I look like that? Right? It's so easy to compare ourselves, especially when it's a 50-year-old woman dancing on a stripper pole like a 25-year-old. I get it. Okay. I get it. But the problem comes when comparing turns into judging, and judging turns into this negative bashing, right? We've turned into a society where it's easier to bash someone because it makes us feel better, even if it's only temporary, than it is to actually build someone up and support their badassery. While I watched that halftime show, I didn't think to myself, why don't I look like that? Or look at that slut. Instead, I thought to myself, holy shit, these women are killing it. Look at this girl power. And I literally said that out loud. In my opinion, that halftime show was not an act of objectifying women. That was an act of confidence. That was an act of beauty. That was two women of color showing every woman out there that no matter what you look like, no matter what your background is, no matter how old you are, women are powerful. That was a pure example of how women can be sexy, be confident, be powerful, and be completely unapologetic about it. How a woman can be proud of who she is. And I know that's what those two women had as an intention behind that performance. Because I heard, if you notice, when J-Lo came out on stage, that thing she was standing on was the Empire State Building. And in an interview with Jimmy Fallon, she said, like, she started that way because she wanted it to be women are on top of the world. Right? There was power behind that, right? I keep hearing comments about how this performance was objectifying women, but I completely disagree. I do not think that J-Lo or Shakira believe themselves to be objects by any means. I think they believe the complete opposite. They're both comfortable in who they are, in their abilities, and in the joy that they bring with the talents that they have. Those women did things that I will never be able to do physically, but they also sang their heart out in a way that I will never be able to sing, nor will millions of other Americans ever be able to sing. They have a talent to share with this world. How is that not inspiring to millions of girls and women around the world to embrace their talents and be comfortable in who they are? Look at where they could get. I know for a fact that girls did not watch that show and say, oh, look at that, I want to be a stripper. No, I asked my 12-year-old daughter what she thought about that show, and her response, it was good. She didn't grow up watching J-Lo and Shakira like I did. You know, she didn't listen to them. So it's just another concert. She didn't look at them and think to herself, oh my gosh, I want to start dressing like that. And oh, I need to go out and start having sex. No, that's not where her mind went, right? We need to think about the things that our kids are subjected to nowadays. They spend hours on YouTube watching things that we will never understand the entertainment value of. The TV shows and movies that are out now have more sexual undertones than they ever did when I was growing up. These kids are not sensitive to skimpy clothes because they are subjected to those kinds of things all the time. Okay, I went to Disney World 2 years ago with my daughter and my parents, and I cannot even count how many girls, like young girls, were with their parents and were wearing short little booty shorts with their butt cheeks hanging out and belly shirts on. Okay? Let's be honest. How many of you dance moms out there have paid for a dance costume that is skimpy in itself and let your daughter go on stage to perform in it? I know you have, because I've been involved in dance for all of my life. And I know some of those costumes can be pretty skimpy. So you cannot possibly allow that and be angry about the halftime show. If your daughter was one of the backup dancers for J-Lo, I bet anything you would be damn proud of her, because I know I sure as hell would be. Chances are you paid for those dance lessons that got her there. Chances are you watched her struggle during practice on a certain routine and then watched as she mastered the move. You watched her gain strength and determination. Those kinds of qualities are hard to come by and can't be taught. You have to learn them the hard way. That halftime show was a safe space for children to appreciate and understand how confident and powerful a woman has the possibility of being when she works hard and goes after her dreams and goals. Whether their dream is to be a backup dancer for J-Lo, or to be J-Lo herself, or to be the CEO of their own company. That was an inspiring moment for them. But instead, the country is focusing on the fact that there were a few crotch shots, that Shakira wiggled her tongue in the camera, and that there was some ass shaking. Did you hear about the guy that wants to sue the NFL, Fox, Pepsi, whoever else he can in a class action suit because the halftime show was pornographic and that it contributed to the delinquency of children? Guys, it was not that serious, okay? When I was a kid, Janet Jackson's whole boob came out during the halftime show, and I don't remember it getting as much debate as this, right? All I'm trying to say is that halftime performance was powerful and totally effing fierce. I have the utmost respect for those two women and how hard they worked to get where they are. I love the fact that they showed what confidence and beauty truly is. As women, we so often function based on what we think other people think about us. We worry what people will think about how we're dressed, how we talk, how we act. We worry that if we aren't the perfect lady, then we will be judged. That halftime show was a perfect example of how you can be sexy as hell and still be a model of class and womanhood. Both of those women are mothers. Both of those women are in committed relationships. Both of these women work hard. Both of these women are business women. They are performers. They love what they do. They are sexy. They love themselves. These women are examples to girls all over the world to be themselves and to not be ashamed. We need to open our eyes to where the world is today. We need to open our mind to new things and new people. We need to see how incredible of an opportunity our children have to do things that we never had the opportunity or the courage to do. We live in a world where talking about chasing your dreams isn't just something we tell our children. It's something we see more and more adults actually going out and doing, right? We live in a time where we are openly talking about self-improvement and mental health in a way that we never did before. Times are changing. And these women, J-Lo and Shakira, are a part of that movement in showing young girls and women to embrace who they are, to unapologetically be who they want to be because they can. I started the Be Fierce movement for all of these reasons. I want to encourage women to tap into that power, that strength that they have inside of them, and to go after whatever it is that sets their soul on fire. I want to support women in their journey to be an inspiration to them. I want to show women that it's okay to be yourself and that you should be confident in that. And I want women to know that it's okay to embrace their sexy side and have no shame in it. J-Lo and Shakira did exactly what I wanted to do, but on a much bigger scale and in a way that I may never have the opportunity to do. So for that, I tell them thank you. Thank you for showing the world what women are capable of. Thank you for showing the world that women of color are beautiful and sexy and talented. Thank you for showing the world what hard work and perseverance can do. And thank you for showing the world that we can all be confident and fierce and be unapologetic about it. So I want each and every one of you to go out there today and be your most fierce self. Be you, be unapologetic about it, and be strong in who you are.